Welcome to Bruno with the Works in the Morning. We're here at Keeneland on this Friday, and we will give you some interesting topics to talk about in our short little segments here on YouTube. You can follow us at Racing with Bruno on Twitter.com, and we'll be posting these on bi-weekly, maybe 3 times a week, depending on what we feel is important to talk about. What we're going to talk about this morning as I clock here at Keeneland is about what With the Works is. As you hear the chatter behind me of some exercise riders from the Cassie and Cox barn coming out, you see horses in front of us. Jogging is what we call it here on the outside rail. You've got the gray filly there for Mark Cassie heading into the 8 pole the wrong way. That's Bold Proposition, who ran a few days ago. She's out of that mare Funny Proposition, and was a very, very good race mare. Bold Proposition has yet to put it all together, and that's what it's all about here in the morning, is trying to understand and get a line on horses, just like all the punters that get on trying to get a line on football players or baseball players or hockey players in the games. So we're out here. We're not just trying to see who the fastest horse in the morning is on the stopwatch. We're actually evaluating each individual horse that we see, so we can get a good line on what they're all about. Now we have a lot of different things to go by when you're looking at horses. Not only you're looking at the physical horse, how it moves and how it handles all the practices that they put together before their racing day, but also how they stack up with their own pedigree. A lot of the times, horses that have a certain pedigree, people zero in on those on that lineage, and sometimes those horses don't run to that pedigree. They're their own individuals. If you're a parent or if you've had kids and you raise kids, you totally understand. Your kids are totally different than you. They have your lineage, they have your DNA, but they're totally different individuals, mentally, physically. Some can be better athletes than you are. Some can be lesser athletes than you are. So there's a lot of those things that come into play. For example, in the background there, you will see horses way back up on the chute. They're going to the gate this morning. And the gate usually gets pretty busy here at Keeneland. Lots of 2-year-olds out here. So not only are we watching horses train, but we're also keeping an eye on those horses that are schooling back there at the gate, whether they work or not. Here's another point. Sometimes you will see horses, first-time starters, with no gate works. That does not mean that they have not been to the gate. Let me make that clear. That does not mean they have not been to the gate. You can get a horse okayed out of the gate to race without having a work. And that's one of the topics some of the topics that we will be discussing. Some of the myth and fables that you get out here in the morning, in the afternoon, from handicappers who have not ever tasted or felt what we feel in the morning, and understand how horses are being trained. Horses do not need a work out of the gate to be okayed by the starter and to be okayed to race. Horses have to be okayed by the starter to race in the afternoon for their first time out, for first time racing, by showing an ability of coming out of the gate. Some horses take longer than others, and that's one other thing we look at, is the ability of a horse to understand, process, and handle the morning here, in the morning at the gate, and also be able to handle it in the afternoon. Sometimes that can be a huge issue. Sometimes horses have to stand behind the gate for a while, and you'll see them work, or you'll see them gallop out of the gate or pop out of the gate, and they're physically drenched, they're sweaty. That's because they've had to sit back there and wait their turn to be able to go to the gate, and be able to move. I don't know if you can see, horse just was open-doored out of the gate. It's a big gray horse back on the way back in the back of the chute, just now approaching the 3.5. And since we've been speaking these 5 minutes, no horse has actually worked. So it'll be very interesting to see who that gray horse that's now past the going into the 2.5, and we'll be able to see him come in front of us. You just saw Bold Proposition come in front of us here in a gallop for the Cassies. You've got in front of us, we got, I believe, a Tom Amos, and then there's a Todd Pletcher right behind him here getting ready for his morning exercise. So when we're watching horses in the morning here, we're looking at a number of different aspects of their training regimen. And the gray that's coming towards us that just open doored out of the gate looks like possibly a Brian Lynch. It is a Brian Lynch. It might be a horse named Midnight Oasis that came out of the gate the other day. I'd have to make sure and check my markings. But the horse came out of the gate, I believe, on Sunday for Brian Lynch. So this are the kind of the things that we're going to cover with the works here on YouTube and on Twitter. And hopefully you'll enjoy it, and when we post it, you'll take a look at it. If you want to find out more about Racing with Bruno, you go to racingwithbruno.com, and you can see all the products we have available. That is our online store. If you want to see our subscribers site where you can get your packages, you can go upload all of our information for all the tracks that we offer. We also have databases that it has all the workouts, auctions, pedigree analysis. Go to BrunoWithTheWorks.com and you see when you sign up for a package what you get. So this is pretty much it for this morning on this Friday. A little introduction about myself. I've been doing this for 30-something years. Started clocking in '91. Started owning horses in '85. So I kind of got started a little late as far as clocking. 6 years after I got in the game, and I've been was a handicapper first, making my own numbers, and trip handicapping was one of my favorite things to do, is watch those replays and get a handle on horses. Once I picked up the stopwatch, started going out in the morning and watching horses train, and opened up a whole complete different world to me, and we've been off to the races ever since. Well, thank you for coming out. Go to racingwithbruno.com or brunowiththeworks.com, and I hope you have a great day.